Most teachers and administrators not only want their kids to have developed minds, but opportunities to develop creativity, positive human values, and a sense of personal excellence. But your budget doesn't allow for all of it. You need fundraising. At School Spirit Vending, we are helping a growing number of elementary schools fundraise the easy way, and we do all the work. We provide the sticker vending machine, free customized school logo stickers, licensed and non-licensed stickers like NFL and Disney, as well as tons of other fun stickers that are relevant to kids. The best part? School Spirit Vending is free. No upfront expenses for schools at all. A percentage of machine revenue goes directly to the school, PTA, or PTO each month. And did I say customized stickers? Our skilled graphics team can help custom design your School Spirit stickers. You just tell us what you want. The only thing you do is provide us a busy hallway or commons area. Oh, and you'll have to find the time to cash a monthly check. It doesn't get any easier than that. 2,000 elementary schools can't be wrong. To see for yourself how easy year-round, hassle-free fundraising can be, go to schoolspiritvending.com/schoolzone. This interview was recorded live at the 2016 Texas PTA Conference in San Antonio, Texas. Now, here's Matt.
Hello, School Zone podcast listeners. Matt coming at you from Stephenville, Texas. And it is a rainy Saturday morning here. And excited to have Carol Rampey on with me. Carol and I met at the Texas PTA here about a month and a half ago. I think we've run into each other over the years multiple times, but never gotten a chance to talk much. And we had plans of talking at the PTA, but by the end of the show, there was a bunch of stuff going on in the background, and we just decided to reset and do this at another time. So, Carol, thanks a lot for taking time out of your weekend to be on the show.
Well, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm sorry we didn't get to chat at the Texas PTA. It's always such a good meeting, but those ladies were having way too much fun
Yeah,
for us to interfere with that. So thanks for letting us reschedule this. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So, Carol, you own United Scrip, correct?
I do. Mm-hmm.
And aside from being a nurse, a school volunteer and mom, and a variety of other things, you've got this awesome business that helps organizations all over the country, and my guess is probably even outside of the U.S., raise money. So why don't you give us a little bit of background on you, and then we'll jump in more specifically to what you're doing business-wise.
Okay. Well, I started United Scrip, the concept of United Scrip, in 94 when I had two children that were entering kindergarten and first grade, and two children that were in middle school. And I had been fundraising and involved in the PTA for the years that they were involved in elementary school, and just was almost exhausted from the number of fundraisers and things that we had to do. I think probably the pinnacle was when we loaded two transfer trucks up with 16,000 azalea plants in one truck and 30,000 in the other truck, and brought them home and put them out on the school's parking lot and sold them, and then at the end of the day realized, we have to pick up everything that we didn't sell and put back in the truck and move them. And I just was exhausted and knew that there had to be a different way to raise funds for our schools. So we had some brainstorming sessions, and someone just mentioned, well, you can actually get grocery store gift certificates. At that time, it was paper coupons that you could buy, and if you bought them in a certain volume, they would give you a discount, and you can use that for your fundraiser. And we started looking at that and seeing if it would work, and it was just such a good fit. I realized that I could do something that I normally do on a regular basis and not have to peddle things door to door. And so it was just a real neat beginning for us. We raised a lot of money that year. I think in 9 months we raised $16,000, and we just had grocery store gift certificates. So it was a great beginning for us. And that's how I got started. Just exhaustion. Sometimes that'll do it to you, won't it?
Yeah, we don't do the plant sales out here that I'm aware of. But when I was in South Carolina here a few months ago with one of our team, we ran by a number of schools all in one day that were in the middle of those. So I can see how that could have been problematic in a lot of ways, for sure.
Well, it can be. I mean, and it's not just, plants. It's everything. My youngest son graduated from college a couple of years ago, and this past Christmas, I was able to use up the last of my wrapping paper that we had purchased through the years. I mean, so I always tell the ladies, be careful what you decide you're going to do, because it comes back to haunt you. And it's great wrapping paper, and I'm sure I'm going to miss it, but it at some point there's a saturation point that you reach, that you realize, I don't need any more of those things, and my freezer's full, and those kinds of things. And so Scrip, which is a Latin term that means anything used instead of cash mat. I always explain it to people when I'm meeting with them. My husband's uncle was in Patton's army and in Europe, and they didn't give them dollars to go and spend, or they didn't give them Deutschmarks even. They gave them paper that they took to the commissary that said, this guy has this much credit. And so Scrip was kind of built on that notion. And in our case, Scrip just means gift cards. So we use gift cards in place of the funds that you're going to use to buy your everyday items. It takes a little planning, but if you could do something that you do every day and it impact something that you really believe in and want to make a difference for, then why wouldn't you do that? So that's the basic concept for this. It's a program that aligns your everyday spending with the goals that you're trying to accomplish for your organization.
So how many schools approximately do you guys work with today? Give us a little, get a background as far as some of the numbers.
Actually, we started out, and I was really shocked that there were groups outside of our school then that really wanted to do this. And so it kind of grew slowly, and every parent has another organization outside the school, whether it be a swim team or a soccer team or, whatnot. So we started, and it leapfrogged on us into South Carolina, and now we have groups across about 46 states. We also have some groups in Italy and one in Hawaii. So we are a little bit international, but it does cross many states.
So how did you go from that first time utilizing the local grocery store with your kids' school? I mean, how do you scale that? You guys represent just about any company with their gift cards today you can think of. So how did all that come about?
Well, when I started the program to supplement the grocery store, I looked around and I said, okay, we've got some restaurants that we depend on in our school, basically to if I've got to have an event, we're going to go to that one and ask for something free, or we're going to ask them to support us and those kinds of things. And so I just explained the program to them and what we were doing and said, would you let me offer your gift cards to our parents? And so I added, local grocery stores, local restaurants. Then I added a dry cleaner and that sort of thing. And then when I realized that, gift cards were, nationwide, I just started calling different retailers until I finally found the right person and asking, do you have a program, that involves gift cards? And if I buy in volume, will you let me have a discount? And so that's basically how we started adding retailers. And then after we had some companies that represent those that industry started calling us and saying, well, would you be interested in this card or that card? So now we have relationships directly with retailers where we purchase gift cards, and we have relationships with people that they have hired to represent them in the B2B community. So that's how we get our gift cards.
So you started out with the one with your kids' school. How did you go about then sharing what you were doing and kind of beginning to promote it?
Sure, right. Well, what we found was that really word of mouth was our best advertising, and so we invited groups, to share with another school. And, if another school joins, then we will, give you a gift card, or we contacted and attended local PTA and state PTA meetings, and then just started slowly expanding, because it really did have to be controlled, because I am a small company, and from a financial perspective, you have to be careful when you don't want to expand too fast in this thing. But we were very careful with that expansion and targeted areas. There are PTA meetings or PTO Today meetings that we attended across the United States. The state PTA meetings and the national state PTA meeting has been a good source for us. We do have attended local and regional district Christian school conventions, and that sort of thing. So that's how we got our name out there. And then our groups, parents travel and they change organizations, or they change schools, and we'll frequently get a call, and it's from a parent that we've worked with historically, and 5 years later, their kids are someplace else, or they're doing something else, or they're now on a travel ball team, or those kinds of things, and they want to set it up for them. Every time we speak at a school or an organization, every time a parent afterward will walk up to us and say, well, could I do this for, my son's theater group, or for our gymnastics team or our swim team? Can the Rotary do this? So every time we speak, there's sometimes 3 to 4 individuals afterward that walk up to us and say, well, does this apply? And so we always talk with them also and invite them to take a look at our program. And so that's kind of how it's kind of, the word has spread, I guess, a little bit of work and a lot of people sharing their success stories.
What does the program look like? So I've got an organization. Let's say I represent a school, and I hear about you, and we're looking for something different. We're looking for something that is simpler to implement, and like you said, that allows us to tap into everyday purchases that we're all already making. How does that kind of work for an organization to start with, and what does it look like from their end?
Well, when we started, we had one program and encouraged our groups to run a program where either on a weekly basis or a monthly basis, they sent out an order form to their parents, in the weekly folder or that sort of thing. And the parents would fill out the order form of what gift cards that they were interested in purchasing or wanted to purchase. The parents pay face value, just so that you understand the whole concept of how this works. Let me just take a step back. The parents pay face value for the gift cards that they would like to purchase. And those orders come in, and the Scrip coordinator will then tally those orders together. We have an online software where they can just go in and put those orders in by the family, or just as a total, if that's the way they want to run it. They deposit their parents' checks, and then that order comes to us, and then we invoice that order, send them a copy of their invoice for them to get ready to pay. And they pay the discounted amount. So some of the gift cards we're able to purchase at discounts ranging from 1.5% all the way to 20%. And United Scrip maintains between 0.5% and 1.2% of that profit. So in other words, if I buy a gift card at 10%, the group's going to purchase that gift card from us at 9%. So for $100 worth of Applebee's gift cards, the school would pay us $91. Does that make sense? Do you understand that concept? So the difference that the parent pays, the parent's going to write a check for their gift cards. If they've bought 4 Applebee's $25 gift cards, they're going to write a check to the school for $100, and then they're going to go to Applebee's and enjoy their meal. The school, when they order those from us, would pay $91 to us. So it's instant revenue. They have the money in their checking account from the very first dollar. So those dollars stay in their accounts. The school will send out an order form on a weekly basis or a monthly basis. The parents fill out their order form and send it back with the check The school sends those orders to us. We send them back to the school, and they pay us the discounted amount. So again, that's the way the program started out. It has evolved. Now there's so many different ways to order. Just because of the internet, it's made it so much easier.
So do they choose what cards they provide, or is there like a website that gets put together? How does that work? Or are they literally going to your site with a login and have access to anything you got there, and kind of like a e-commerce type setup? I mean, how does that work?
Right, exactly. Now, a group can choose on a paper form what gift cards they would like to offer to their group, but now with the website online and the online store, our online site for ordering 24/7 is scriptzone.com. And it's set up so that each individual group has a unique user ID that the school then is given. And when the parents, if they want to set it up hands-free, for example, they don't have a school might not have the volunteer base to run a program where, and some schools want this, they want the order forms to come into them. They want the monies deposited directly into their accounts, and they pay us. But other schools, they don't have the volunteer base, which is getting to be, more of a problem for schools, as our parents have to go back to work just to support their household. And so running that type program is difficult. So we set up a program, we call it the hands-free program, and basically once the group has set up their group ID and they have a login, the parent simply has to go into our site at scriptzone.com. They set up a user account. They join their group with that unique user ID. And then everything that they purchase from that moment on is credited to the school, and the profits then would come to the school. So a parent can go in, place an order, either pay with a check or pay with a credit card. And when I say a check, I mean an electronic check. We would electronically debit their account for the amount, for that $100. So they would pay $100 for those 4 Applebee's cards. And then we would send them out to the parent directly, if that's the way the school wants us to set it up. We can send those 4 Applebee's cards to the school, to the parent. And then that profit is sent out to the schools on a quarterly basis. We just do it quarterly, but if a school needed those funds more frequently, we're happy to send those checks out more frequently. But just to make life simple for us and not quite so complicated, we send those checks out on a quarterly basis.
There are a lot of kids in this world just like me, except they don't have a way to get any clean drinking water. Clean Water Kids is the kid part of kidsacrosscultures.org, where we ask school kids to be our partner in raising awareness for water projects. Clean water changes kids, which changes schools and changes families. And when we help other kids get clean water, it changes us. Clean water changes everything. Raising money for water filters and other water projects is really easy. We have schools, organizations, and other groups all over who do it. Go to cleanwaterkids.com for more information and ideas on how you can partner with us. Although we focus on schools, you don't have to be a school to help us. You can tell your school, your team, your church, your club, or troop, or whatever you're a part of about cleanwaterkids.com and see how easy it is to help. I think every kid deserves clean water to drink. Don't you? I'm Travis, and I'm a clean water kid.
What is kind of the breakdown, do you typically see between schools that are actually doing the purchasing direct from you, with their Scrip coordinator or what have you, and schools that are doing the hands-free? How does that kind of typically break down as far as the number of groups doing the different types?
Yeah, I think it's probably about 60-40. 40% of those groups, though, that do a program where there's a lot of attention given to it, of course, they're going to do better. If we have hands-free programs that are very successful, but the parents are very motivated and they have a coordinator. Don't forget, you can place an order, or, those kinds of things. I think any fundraising program always does better when the parents have a vision or goal that is going to be accomplished by the completion of this program, by placing your orders. And whether that's a program where, a classroom is benefiting, or a playground is benefiting, or individual kids are helping to pay for their school trip someplace, whatever it takes to motivate that parent to place those orders is just really important. And one of the things that we really take a lot of time to do with our groups is to help them identify what motivates your parents, what's going to help you accomplish the goals, because anybody can set up a Scrip program, but to make a successful Scrip program, you really have to be in tune with your parents and what their goals and needs are. And we work with a lot of schools that, the kids are, all come in for breakfast, and, it's those are hard places to be. And so one of the things that we like to do with those type schools that
Title I,
like a Title I school, working with those schools is harder because the parents, might be working paycheck to paycheck, or living paycheck to paycheck. And so asking them to commit to, a gift card is a harder concept for them to understand. So one of the things that we try to help schools do is, okay, what works for your parents? And if tapping into parents is your hardest thing, then let's look at Scrip as another way to tap into the business community, because utilizing the businesses in your area to help you fund something is a great way. But businesses, are like parents. You wish your pocket was bigger, so that you could donate more. But how many times can you be asked to donate things to a school, and at some point you not have to say, I just don't have any more funds. But 67% of businesses in most communities who have employees that they gift during the holidays, or just gift with any kind of gift card, 67% of those businesses go to a local grocery store or a gas station and pick up gift cards during the holidays for their employees.
Right.
And so one of the things that we've tried to pioneer and develop is a way for the schools to tap into that. So we've created templates and letters that they can send home to their parents and out to the business community. And that's been a tremendous boost to so many of our groups in our schools around the country. They've tapped into that, and they now have relationships with businesses that you would never think of tapping into, actually, from a fundraising perspective. We have a local school here that about 8 years ago, one of the parents received the letter, and her children were now in school, and she'd gone back to nursing school, and on the weekends worked at a nursing home. And so she took the letter to the owner of the nursing home, and they actually purchased $45,000 to $50,000 worth of gift cards every Christmas for his employees. And the school benefits anywhere from $500, depending on what he buys, to $2,000. And you don't typically think of tapping into a nursing home for, a fundraising donation or help, but it really helps to build relationships within the business community. So if you've got a Title I school, this is an easy way to help support your programs. And the businesses actually look at this as beneficial to them, because for a business to go in, for example, to a grocery store or even a gas station and buy a gift card, and they're trying to buy a prepaid Visa card, to activate that card will cost them anywhere from $3.95 to $6.95. That's the fee they're going to have to pay. But you can actually purchase those through our program, not only at a discount for the business, but with no activation fees. So it really ends up saving the business funds also. So they end up saving money. And the amount of profit that's generated by that purchase from that business can actually be considered a donation. So if, an employee, for example, I'll just use this because the math is easy. If an employer wanted to purchase Bath and Body gift cards for the ladies that worked for him, and he bought $1,000 worth of Bath and Body gift cards to give out. When the school purchased those from us during the holidays, those Bath and Body gift cards, $1,000 worth of Bath and Body gift cards that the business would write them a check for, they would only have to pay $820. So that's a no-brainer, as far as being able to tap into those businesses and realize funds that will help their schools. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And guys, I'm looking at the list on scriptzone.com right now. Anybody you can think of, she's got a relationship with.
Right.
I mean, even, here I am in Texas, and H-E-B grocery store is huge here.
Sure.
Walmart, Papa John's, Papa Do's, and Papacitos, which is my favorite restaurant chain here in Texas.
Right.
Payway, Pizza Hut. I mean, you name it. Any company you can pretty much think of is available. I do a lot of travel, American Airlines, Delta Airlines. I mean, you name it. So really, really, really cool setup that you've got here. And man, I'm excited looking at this list.
Well, it's an easy thing to do. I mean, that you're going to go out and eat. That you're going, to travel. We're getting ready to launch a special on Target, for the next month. It's going to be a great new discount. And, we have retailers coming in saying, okay, well, buy $100 worth of Shell or buy $100 worth of Target, and we'll put your name in a pot and we'll give away things. So lots of things, fun things like that will be happening through the year that we try to push out there to the parents. One of the great partners that we have is Kohl's. Kohl's has a program called Kohl's Cares for Kids, and they work directly with schools. And I always tell the groups that we talk with, make sure you check out their foundation and some of the things that they can do, because they can help you additionally. But if you have a Kohl's credit card, you can walk into any Kohl's and buy what you want. And Kohl's will let you then go back and purchase those Kohl's gift cards through your school and through us, and take it into the store and pay off your account. So you're not missing anything, by purchasing just a gift card. If you can put it on your credit card, your Kohl's credit card, and utilize it, and then pay it off with the Kohl's Cares for Kid gift cards, which is a great partnership, I think. So there are lots of good relationships out there. And, we always tell a group, if you're going to run a program and you want to establish a strong Scrip program, just give us a call and let us help you look at the community. We serve an organization up in Denton, Texas called Serve Denton. And it's an outreach where they will let any of the nonprofits in the area come in and be housed in a facility if they're going to help the community of Denton. And we have been up there twice and worked with them, and we went out into the community and found the local restaurants and those kinds of things and explained the program to them. And so now they have a lot of different local restaurants that they've pulled in and businesses that they've pulled into their Scrip program. And that doesn't have anything to do with me. I don't purchase those gift cards. I don't make any money off those gift cards, but that program benefits from it. And one of the things we like to do is teach groups how to do that. So, not only is it Scrip, but it's helping you reach out to the community, helping you build relationships with the community and utilize the gift cards anywhere. And, and these are gift cards, except for local gift cards. These are gift cards that can be used at any location. So, a Pizza Hut that you buy here can be used anywhere, in the United States, anywhere there's a restaurant or, any of these gift cards. H-E-B is a great partner, and they work already in the community and do a lot for those people in Texas. And, I always tell a group, if you can't run a Scrip program, you can still work with H-E-B. H-E-B will work directly with a school, and, you don't even have to come through us. But we like to work with our groups and feel like we bring a lot of added value when they do. So we hope they'll remember us. But, we're going to teach you how to run a program efficiently and how to grow it and how to expand it into different areas that traditionally Scrip has not been a part of.
This is really, really cool, Carol. Is there a size of organization that is typically best, or are you guys literally working with any organization out there, school or otherwise?
Right. We work with any organization that we can to help them. The whole point of why we do what we do is to make a difference. We want to leave a legacy for the kids that are out there to build upon. And if we don't each take responsibility for that as adults, it's just not going to happen. So it's a primary vision in the heart of why we do this. So we work with small organizations and large organizations. We have, groups of moms that are trying to raise funds for, picnic equipment, or all kinds of different organizations, from soccer to baseball to high school marching bands to gym groups, gymnastics teams, traveling teams, schools, high school marching bands, churches that are building new kitchens, just small things. We work with teams that are trying to do missions trips, all sorts of organizations. Some are large and some are small. And all it really takes is a person that really has a vision for what they're trying to accomplish and who's willing to give it some attention. Just gentle reminders and those kinds of things to place their orders. It's not a difficult, and the online software site at Scrip Zone really will take care of any kinds of needs that they might have as far as a bookkeeping perspective. It's an easy fit. It's an easy learning curve. We've had parents terrified, call and say, I don't know anything about the internet or the computer, and we just smile and say, you're about to start a journey that's going to leave you with new tools that you'll use for the rest of your life. It's a fun thing to do and to learn. And so we have parents that really are so dedicated to the program that even after their children are not even at the school, continue to run their Scrip programs and come back to us and say, we're going to keep doing this, and I'm going to keep running this program for them, and that sort of thing. So people get addicted to it. I mean, I don't like to go anywhere without a gift card because, I know it's going to help an organization, and that's important. So it's not a difficult program, and there are a lot of gift cards out there. And if we don't have a gift card that you need, I really don't mind calling and saying, would you participate in this? That's how we got Papa's, the Papa chain. Those are great folks who really love the Texas community, and they're expanding, and they're great people to work with. So I'm glad you like their restaurants. I do too.
Yeah, I've added a bunch of weight over the years.
I really like, every time I come to Texas, I try to make a point to visit one of their Papados or something, because probably the best guacamole I ever had was at one of their restaurants, and they made it right beside the table, and it was just so wonderful. So yeah, I appreciate that. And like their card, they have many different concepts within their family of brands, and their card, one card can be used at any of their restaurant chains. The same thing is true of Outback. They have different chains that they also operate. Carrabba's is part of the Outback. Chili's does the same with On the Border or Macaroni Grill. A lot of these gift cards can be used at multiple locations. The Gap gift card can be used at, Old Navy and Banana Republic, those type things. So that's a nice, little perk that you can just get one card. You can buy a Williams and Sonoma card and use it at Pottery Barn or West Elm or any of their different concepts that they have. So it's nice to have a card that can be used at a lot of different locations.
Let me ask you this, Carol. Is there a charge for delivery? Like, let's say they're doing the hands-free program, and you're literally sending cards to individuals, potentially hundreds of individuals that are ordering through that.
Right.
Is there a delivery fee as well, or is that all factored into the cost of the card, or how does that work?
Well, when a program is set up so that it's hands-free, sometimes we have to charge a fee if they want it sent any other way other than just regular mail. Right now, and through Christmas, shipping to individuals is free for groups, so it doesn't cost anything for a parent. They can go in and get their card and we would send it directly to them, and there are no fees associated with it. We have two forms of payment. I just want to explain this to parents. We have two forms of payment for those groups. They can either pay with a credit card, which is unique to my particular Scrip company. No other Scrip provider in the country allows that, and we set up the credit card payment because there was such a large demand. I mean, people want their points, they budget by their credit cards, those type of things, and they can pay with the direct electronic check, essentially. And there is a 50-cent handling fee, and that's basically just the bank charge that we add to it. So if those 4 Applebee's cards that were purchased, the parent would pay $100 plus a 50-cent banking fee, and that's all of it. And that's just a charge we can't avoid. We operate our company off of 1% average, and we're really committed to that. So, I wish I could absorb every fee, but I can't. I am absorbing the shipping charges right now, but I feel like it's still a good deal. It's a great way to help an organization with very little cost to it for the parent.
So are there any other things that you'd like to leave with folks, or as we kind of wrap things up here?
Sure. I think Scrip is a great tool to use for schools when they are operating multiple fundraisers, because it's kind of one of those things that can play in the background if they want to do a hands-free program. We also have a program if they need, a program that can start and end, much like a wrapping paper or a candy promotional campaign would do. So if you want to look at that sort of campaign, we didn't even touch on that yet, but we have a one-time flyer campaign. So we have a traditional program, we have a hands-free program, and we have a trifold program that offers 120 of our top sellers that a parent can take to friends and family, and also order from and then bring back in. And, we push that program between now and Christmas because we're entering the holiday season and people love gift cards. So we have a lot of different options. And if they would just give us a call or email us, we'd be happy to fill them in and send them materials as they start thinking about fundraising and doing it and making every purchase profitable for their organization. Just give us a call.
Yeah, Carol, give them contact information for you.
All right. Call 864-886-9701, or you can contact us by emailing info@unitedscrip, SCRIP.com, info@unitedscrip.
Very cool.
And that'll get to us, and we can, if you go online to one of the sites, there's a link. You can link over and look at enrollment materials or the gift cards that we have, or give us a call. We'd be happy to spend as much time as we need to helping you understand the concept of Scrip and how it can help your families and your organization raise the funds that they need.
Guys, I really love a couple of things about this program. Number one, the fact that we're utilizing money that we're spending anyway. So it's not something that you're going to have to dig in extra for. The other thing is the flexibility for any organization to implement the program, whether it be the one-time thing, as she mentioned, with the trifold going into the holidays, whether it be a hands-free, behind-the-scenes program, or whether it be a program that is managed directly by people who have the time and the ability and the desire to manage it on a monthly basis. What I love is the fact that it allows each organization to form fit the program to what they need and what their resources are, instead of trying to be a cookie cutter for everybody. And so, man, Carol, I am excited that we got a chance to talk at PTA, excited that we finally got a chance to talk this Saturday morning about your program, because I think this is going to be and have a huge, huge impact on the listeners of the School Zone podcast. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to share what you guys are doing with them.
Well, thank you for having us. It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to hearing from your listeners and hope that we can impact, their programs and what they're trying to accomplish. That's why we do this. We want to be a part of making a difference for those kids that they're trying to help, or those programs that they're trying to supplement funds for. So let us let us come along beside you and partner with you. We'd love to do that.
Awesome. Thanks,
Thank
Carol.
you again.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Matt, for this vision for your programs. I think it's a great way to teach people and for them to gain knowledge on all sorts of things. So I've enjoyed listening this past week to some of the podcasts that have already happened, and look forward to more.
Thank you, Carol. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Have a
All
great
right.
weekend.
You too. Take care.
If you enjoyed today's episode, we would be honored if you would leave a 5-star rating and review and hit subscribe on your podcast player of choice. Have a company you'd like Matt to feature on the School Zone podcast? Have a fundraising question you'd love to get answered? Send a voice message to Matt. We would love to hear from you. Visit SchoolZonePodcast.com and click on the Ask Matt a Question button on the bottom right of the page. Simply record, listen, and send. It's that easy. Ask Matt a Question on SchoolZonePodcast.com.